Please don't leave my room again. You're the only thing that made me feel like this year is still worth living. I wish I didn't have to write a song about how everyone here hates me, so I'll drown in my mistakes that I can't fix. So I lay in the bottom of life, everything that you said so we can trust will never mean a thing to anyone but me. And I spent this year just trying to graduate, but everything just won't help me concentrate on all of my lies. They happen all the time. I can't leave this place forever. I'm a goddamn mess, but I swear I'll get better in time. In your eyes, I'm still doing just fine. And I can't try to get past this bad weather. All the thoughts in my head just seem
What was that?
Crack this. Cheers. Thank you for coming over.
Yeah, no problem, bro. Thanks for having me.
All right. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Deals on Wheels podcast, brought to you by Spirit Peaks. I believe that this is going to be episode 11. I have not been recording for the last couple of weeks because I just started my career. I'm working as a sprinkler fitter and an inspector downtown Seattle now, so I'm trying to get my shit together, and this is pretty much coming second now. So I'm going to try my best to record episodes like this every week, if not every other week. But yeah, this week we got a super special guest. But before I introduce them, I want to just let you guys know that Spirit Peaks is having an open drift this week, September 12th on Sunday. And then the next one at the end of the month is going to be September 25th. So go on spiritpeaks.com, which is at the top of the link in the description. Jesus Christ, let me start the fuck over because that was trash. Sorry.
You're chilling, dog. I get it.
It's been a month. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Deals on Wheels podcast, brought to you by... Jesus Christ. Nicotine.
Yeah. Sometimes you just can't even cut those out, bro.
No.
Sometimes we just leave them in on our videos.
All right, fuck it. That's the intro. This is the intro. I'm not cutting any of it out. Welcome to the very, very special birthday episode. I turned 21 2 days ago.
So you bought me a beer, dude.
Like I said, the podcast is brought to you by Spirit Peaks Raceway. We have an event coming up on the 12th, an event coming up on the 25th. Definitely go to the link in the bio, spiritpeaks.com. Sign up for it. $60? $75 to drive.
I've never drove at Spirit Peaks before.
You've never driven at Spirit Peaks?
Dude, look at that. I mean, come on, man. 3-year build.
Let's see. We're actually just going to get into our guest here. This is Ryan Smith.
What's up, guys?
Tell me a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where you went to high school, and what you're doing now for a career.
Okay, so I'm 22. I went to Bonnie Lake High School and Sumner High School, but neither of those really worked out. I'm a high school dropout.
Oh, you are?
I am. I got my GED 6 months before my class graduated.
Nice.
You
graduated early.
Yep.
That's what you need to say.
Got a good enough degree early.
Just keep it with I graduated early.
Right. And then I joined the electricians union right away.
I didn't know that.
Now I'm about to be a fourth-year apprentice.
Awesome.
So I almost have my J-Dub card. It's helped fund the build.
I bet.
Yeah.
You do residential, commercial?
Commercial.
Yeah. Nice. Where at? Usually.
Seattle mostly, but
that's where the money is.
Yeah. I got thrown into a service, so now I'm kind of bouncing all over the place, but it's cool. I like being everywhere.
Nice. That's sick. So tell me a little bit about the car. We probably saw a little bit of this car in the intro for this podcast. Usually there's 2 or 3 minutes in the very beginning of the podcast with beauty shots of the car. And this is your beautiful Jay-Z swapped IS300. Tell me a little bit about the car, the power plant, and pretty much For people that don't follow drifting, don't follow cars, explain this car a little bit to me.
I built this car based off the previous cars I had owned. I'd owned a couple 240s that I was just kind of too young to be able to afford, if that makes sense.
Been there, yeah.
They were great platform cars. They taught me how to drive, but I just never had enough money to be able to actually support the car.
Yeah.
So I had the motor first. I started building the motor. I had this crazy list, and it was like unfeasible almost, you know? So I really cut out a lot of stuff. I got the 1J and the R154 together.
Okay. Where'd you source that from?
I bought it off a buddy's buddy before the Jay-Z prices went crazy.
Okay. Can you disclose what you paid for R154 1J cost in 2018, late 2018?
Yeah, it was $4,000.
I mean, yeah, that's what they were sitting at for probably 5 years before they
Yeah.
literally doubled in price, and now they're $8,000.
The long block, I was just kind of curious. Not like I'm ever going to sell my things.
Yeah.
But the long block right now for a non-VVTi on eBay is like $6,000.
Yeah, for sure. How are you a fan of the R154? I know a lot of people swap them out for the CD09, but are you?
I like it.
You're happy with the shift
Yeah,
pattern?
I like it. The gearing ratio is a little long,
Yeah.
and so it was a little complicated to kind of figure out how to drive. This is the fastest car I've actually been able to drift. Kind of one of the faster cars that I've been able to actually drive.
What kind of power is it making now?
So right now it only makes 315 wheel,
Still
and that's
to
all we
double what it
that's
made
all we
stock.
know because my clutch started to slip on dyno.
Yeah.
And then literally before I had left, I was talking to my tuner and we ordered a clutch kit together for the power that I wanted to fees. And I never wanted to make crazy power with this car. More power, more responsibility, I guess.
For
more,
sure.
more maintenance. So the 380 wheel mark was really a big goal.
For sure.
I guess, you'd want to make over 400 wheel just so you can have that clout.
Maybe for
that little flex.
Maybe as a killer map, just if you're going out on
But
the streets and want to gap some fools.
Yeah,
and-
dude, I don't want to be spending money on tires.
For sure.
More power, more shit you're breaking, more shit you're reinforcing.
Yeah. So is the bottom end of this still bone stock? Did you open up the block at all?
So I opened it up. I did ARP head stud, and then I did an OEM spec metal head gasket,
Nice.
and then the head's completely stock too. Cams were on the list, but they were also like $1,000.
Yeah, for sure.
So it was, and then you can't just do cams too.
You need the supporting rods for it.
Exactly. So it wasn't just like one thing. So I was like, okay, well, we're gonna keep the head stock, and I got the single turbo, and then we started looking in fuel rail, fuel options, and I was like, okay, the Walbro 255 is gonna do just fine. I could have gone bigger, but for what I wanted, because I never wanted to make power with it, was Walbro 255.
Still an in-tank fuel pump setup, or is it
Yep.
external? Nice. That's nice.
Super easy, still 92 octane.
Awesome.
I don't really like. I mean, I see why everybody likes E85.
Yeah.
I do. I really do.
Especially with the gas prices right now. It's like
Crazy.
40 cents or
Dude,
60 cents cheaper.
Like $200 in fuel in this car. That's like $65 a day.
God damn.
I'm driving like a jackass.
Yeah, but you're always at 7,500 RPM.
Yeah.
What's your red light at? You don't know?
I don't know. It hit 7 and then
Whenever I
it kept
decide to
going,
shift.
but then I shifted. So I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
So you just pretty much got this thing out from the garage. It was just up on jack stands for almost a month, a little over a month.
a little over a month, yeah. I ordered just about every arm for the car.
Okay, I think I actually have a picture of what.
Yeah.
There's it installed, but here it is laid out. What is all the stuff that you put under the car while it was up on jack stands? And is this, would you call this 3.0 of the build? Is this 2.0? Are you on 6.0?
I still call it version 1.
This is
It's not even one color yet,
Haven't finished version 1 yet.
Yeah, so I did every arm except for one, and that was like I think they're the torsion rods.
On the back of the front?
In the front.
Yeah.
And I forgot them because, yeah.
Because there's 73 arms. And
Yeah, I was just like, my buddy was doing the passenger side. He's like, hey, did you buy this one? And I was like, which one? And he's like, this one. And I was like, nope. Whoops. But yeah, so we did upper control arms. This is all by KFD. So yeah, we did the upper control arms in the front, adjustable, and the extended lowers. They're like,
Explains the camber.
yep, yep. And then extended tie rods. I ended up getting tie rods inners where they were just cut to fit.
Okay.
So I just kind of hacked them with a grinder and made
So
it work.
how much additional angle are you getting out of this kit? Is there more angle added to this kit with the extended lower control arms, or is it similar
so
to
I
stock?
think I'm like somewhere at 70 degrees of lock.
Damn, it's got some. I saw you turn around in my driveway like it was nothing.
I know.
I was like turning around in the driveway, and he just literally whipped the steering wheel one time, and he was backwards. I go, okay, that was impressive.
It's got some crazy angle. I think I've hit full lock in the car one time. My buddy says I didn't. I told him to record it, and lately he's had his phone on Do Not Disturb, so he didn't fucking see the text. But I told him to record it, and I threw a feint, and then I just kind of, I overpowered it actually.
Yeah.
You know?
I saw you on Brad's story do the U-turn in the middle of on Canyon, I think.
I don't know. I've been getting reckless lately. I've been having way too much fun.
Just in broad fucking daylight.
But I hit full lock in the car, and I was like, oh, I'm spinning out.
Yeah.
And somehow I just
Throttled out of it.
I stayed in it to win it, and I was just like, jaw was dropped. It was really cool.
So
actually.
with this setup, and you're running 17s front and rear right now.
Yeah,
Are
we're
those
running stocks.
IS 350 stocks
Yeah.
and IS 300 stocks in the rear. Can you get? I mean, obviously you just did all this to maintain grip and get grip. Can you put the power to the floor with this tire setup right now in a straight line?
Yeah.
It hooks up and does
Yeah.
it. That's awesome. That's impressive. What are those? What 225s in the rear right now? What
I think they're 245.
245s? I mean, still.
Honestly, I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. They're drift sparrows.
Rollers.
They're from
They're
Santis.
literally rollers, yeah. I ended up meeting somebody, and I think I'm going to be running Velinos
Really?
in the car.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's a distributor, really cool guy.
That's exciting.
Met him through a really good buddy of mine. I got a clip of us racing if you want it. He's got a fast BMW.
All right, this is going to be my first snap to edit, but when I snap, we're going to cut to a video of Ryan racing this car.
Nice, yeah.
Actually, I'm going to let you snap to
It's
it.
a Dynan E36.
Okay, let's see Ryan racing a Dyna E36. Snap it.
What do you mean snap it?
Snap.
Oh.
Now we're back. That was
What's
impressive.
up, right?
Did you smack him? I haven't seen the video
So
yet.
it was even.
It was even?
It was 100% even.
Okay, well that's good to know that you can keep up with a car like that.
In the corners, he would smoke me.
Yeah.
You know, he set his car up for autocross, but
But he couldn't take the corners like that.
yeah. No, but it was cool. I was big smiles were after. We were both smiling at each other.
So you've had the car on the ground for a little less than a week now. How is it driving it? Are you daily driving it at this point?
Oh, I'm not daily driving it. No.
What is your daily driver?
My buddy's Lexus.
Is that the IS350, the white one?
Yeah. No, that white one. Okay, we gotta cut this one out.
Gotcha.
No, yeah. So he's got a black IS250, 2014, all-wheel drive,
Nice.
all stock,
Cool.
heated seats,
Plush.
air-conditioned seats.
It's nice going from that to
Oh, yeah.
this to that to this.
So he
Best of
lets
both worlds.
He lets me daily drive that,
That's nice.
and then the Z just kind of sits now. So
Oh yeah, you have the silver Z Vert, right?
yeah. So I let him drive that a lot, and then he was always into like camber, super stance out. He had a Miata with like -20.
Who is this?
This is my buddy Alex.
Okay, Ojeda.
Yeah.
The other person that
Yeah.
runs Oshuno.
Oshuno with
Let's
us.
talk a little bit about your channel. You run a YouTube channel,
Yeah.
Instagram page called Oshuno Boys. Or
It's just Oshuno. But yeah.
It was previously a name that I couldn't say out loud.
Yeah, we had to change that one because everybody.
I wanted to promote you, but I couldn't say the word.
We asked a lot of people, and we were like, "Look, like, do you feel comfortable?" And they're like, "No." And we're like, "Well, come on, like, why?" You know what I mean? They're like, "No, I can't say that."
Yeah.
But it described us,
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
and like we didn't take it as a racial slur, but it's 2021.
You couldn't exactly put it on a T-shirt and sell it.
You know,
You could, but
You know, I'll say this because now everybody will know. You know the Girls Gone Wild logo?
yeah.
Yeah, just imagine that one.
Oh, I mean, yeah, whatever. I like the Oshuno logo.
Oshuno.
Oshuno.
Yeah.
I mean,
It started out as a car group, and then it was just kind of started to like follow my life, and then Alex and he jumped in. He's been editing most of our videos now.
nice. And you two live together full
Yep.
time. Awesome.
Yep. So we're always together.
That's
we
sick.
We do everything.
Yeah, you can tell by the vlogs that you guys are always partying, causing
Yeah.
a little bit of trouble out on the boat, doing a little bit of
Well,
water.
we were partying because my car was on jack stands, man. We had nothing to do.
Now you're partying on the streets.
Oh, yeah.
So what is Alex building right now? Is he just driving the 350Z or does he have a build going on?
He's got the 350Z, and that's really all he's doing.
But I mean, he's street sharking that thing. He's like
Yeah,
the fuck out of that thing.
He's got plans for it. I pulled the LSD out, and we ended up welding the LSD, and so we threw that back in the car. It's a completely different car.
Nice.
It was incredible. And he's talked about getting the budget, like GK Tech angle kit.
Yeah, for sure.
And then just like an inline hydro. So
That'd be
they're
sick.
just making it the most budget build.
I really like the
Street
Z33
car.
platform. It's not a huge fan of the vert. I bought
Me neither, but like at the same time, it's also really fun in the summer.
I fucking agree. So I bought my girlfriend a 350Z automatic vert last year as a birthday present, and I drive that thing when she's not driving it, and it's a fucking blast because
It's fun.
It's automatic, and you can go fast in it, and the top's down, so it's a fun cruiser. But
They look fucking hideous, though.
they look hideous.
Yeah. No, they
It's
do.
really hard to make a vert look good.
I've seen a couple.
There's a 2 or 3 on Instagram.
When I had
but-
3-piece wheels on it, it looked good.
did you
but
have what did you have on it? Did you
I
have
had
VSXs on
I
it?
had X's on it. I had KFs on it, and then I ended up crashing the car.
You did.
Dude, me and OJ, we were banging third gear. John Deere, you know the John Deere
Oh, in
street
Sumner?
spot? No, in Kent.
No, I don't.
Yeah, it's claimed a couple of cars. It almost claimed this one.
Did it?
It almost did, but it was wet. We were at the top of third, and right when I went to click to fourth, the car just kind of like looped out, and we lost it. And I thought I totaled the car.
Yeah.
There's a boulder, kind of like this big, and then there was a street sign, and somehow we went in between both of them.
Oh fuck.
I ended up bending the trailing arm, and then I broke the camber adjustment arm.
Yeah.
And then the wheel was all chipped up. I hang it on my wall in my garage a lot. But
Well, at least you were safe and the car made it home.
oh yeah, we kept drifting that night. Actually.
Jesus Christ.
Because like it was like we pulled up with like 4 or 5 guys, and that was like literally the first. I led and first run.
Was it raining? It was
Yeah,
dry.
it was,
It was raining.
It was last winter. Damien was there. I just actually watched that podcast with you guys before I came over.
Shout out to Damien. Watch the Damien Dunn podcast.
Right. I'm trying to drive with
It's
him.
going to be linked right up here if you want to watch it. If you can see this link right up here, you can watch it. Is that a thing? You can get the little corner. To
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you
watch
can
that
edit
shit.
anything in.
Push that fucking button. Anyways, so have you had any major accidents or crashes with the IS300 on the road in the street? Have you?
No, the worst, like, I guess, thing that actually happened to it was the first time we kind of started driving it, the right LCA fell out of
The car?
It literally just fell on the ground in, like, the middle of an intersection. I tried to roll it,
Always
and it broke one
do
of the
bolt
fenders.
checks, not boys and girls.
Yeah, cotter pins are important, too.
Oh, cotter pins are always important. And if you don't have them, nails work.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can just bang a nail through it.
Okay. I had 18s in the front, and then I put 17s on and didn't adjust ride height. And then we were driving around in Kent. That was the John Deere night.
Okay.
And I ended up wrecking my front bumper. You can see all the zip tie. Yeah, it's not even painted yet, and I just
So let's talk a
In
little bit about
two
the body
pieces.
kit. This is,
BN rep.
I don't want to
sure.
say it, but
It's
the
rad.
body kit that you've seen every IS300
Oh, yeah.
kit.
100%.
With the same.
I got a 326 wing at home too.
Oh,
Yeah.
you do. Okay.
It's your basic IS300 build.
But you know why it's basic?
Because that's the standard.
Because it looks good.
Yeah, that's the standard.
'Cause
I
it's
think IS300s are one of the ugliest cars without these kits.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Because,
They're
I
kinda
mean, there's no
hideous.
other option besides like an Altezza TRD kit.
Yeah,
which,
or like a Vertex kit, but
Yeah.
now you're spending big money because it's big name brand. You know, this is some rep company out of California that took 5-6 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, and I can just throw glass over and over and over again.
And if it falls off on I-5, you don't have to turn around and go
It
get
is what it is. No, yeah, 100%. You know, it sucks because it was not, cheap, but for a body kit, it was kind of cheap, and there was minor modifications. I mean, the most modification I had to do was the front bumper.
The intercooler.
But I got a big intercooler in front too, so that's not stock. So
How
it's
big is your intercooler? 3-inch core?
3-inch, yeah.
Yeah, it's
and
a
then
big
3-inch
beefy
piping
intercooler.
all around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the kit, it came out great. There was minimal modifications needed.
You know what I just realized is the last podcast, episode 10, was an IS300.
Oh, no kidding.
It was
Really?
Jason. It was Street Garage.
That's my dad, dude. That's my dad, man.
I totally forgot. So we're gonna have pretty much the best of both worlds in the IS300 community, because people are either ride or die LS boys, throw a fucking LS in it and send it to the moon, or swap a fucking $10,000 motor into it and let that thing scream. And you chose the latter. You chose to throw straight six turbo in it, which is what.
You know,
It didn't come in this chassis. Was there
It
ever a
should
turbo
have.
straight six? There's only a turbo 4-cylinder that ever came in this chassis, right?
it was the Beams turbo. Was it?
Or was the Beams only NA?
I think it was NA.
So the only two
they
motor
were both
options
NAs.
are NA.
Yeah.
So IS300s
They really
do
dog.
suck.
Yeah, they dogged us.
They're dog shit. They're just okay. I'm gonna go to a story of pretty much how you inspired me to build an S13 coupe.
Okay.
This car,
Oh, this one.
this car right here.
Yeah.
So I was 16 years old, and I had one of my very first cars. It was not this hatch. It was a white S13 hatch. I bought it when I was 16. I spray painted it white. I worked at McDonald's. I worked at the McChev up by the Super Mall for a minute.
Okay.
And you would stop by McDonald's.
Oh, dude, I'm addicted. I got a bad addiction to McDonald's, bro.
You would pull up in this fucking. I mean, you were young.
Yeah.
And I had a bone. I mean, it had Max Pitting rod coilovers and a Corbeau bucket seat and some shitty fucking wheels. But I had a pretty much bone stock single cam S13 hatch. And you were like, you're only a year older than me, and you
High
roll
school
up.
dropout.
Yeah.
Got a job early,
I got
dude.
you. I see
I got a job early.
I get it. And you pull up to the drive-thru, and I'm like, is that a fucking intercooler, bro? I was like, this dude's got an RB under the hood. Because I mean, obviously, when you see a 240 and both the charge pipes, or both the intercooler pipes are coming from the same
Over
side.
intake.
The overhead intake
Yeah.
on the RB20 or RB20?
This one was a 20.
RB20. And this car and Mason Brighthop's pig nose hatch. Do you remember Mason Brighthop's?
So, dude, I have a lot of mutuals with that guy. I've seen his Instagram and his socials, but I've never officially actually met him before in person.
He works at Griot's Garage downtown Tacoma.
No kidding.
Yeah, I've sold him a few cars in the last couple of years, and he's awesome. He's building an S14 and a Toyota Tercel, and I think another. He had the.
Damn it, Tercel.
Yeah, I sold him the Tercel. It was
no kidding.
1984 Tercel with like 52,000 miles on it that my dad and I got from the
He's
original
throwing the
owner.
beams in that, isn't he?
He's throwing the beams in 8.6. He's got a red Hashiroku.
This man's just got all the builds.
Yeah,
Good God.
Yeah, he used to live. Anyways, fuck Mason Brighthop.
Ah!
If you see on my list right here, he's on the list.
Which car, though?
Where is Mason?
Oh, I see Tercel.
Oh, Brighthop's right, actually, two above you. So we should have done him first. But you are on the list. Ryan Smith's on the list. So we did get him in the studio. But now I do have a couple more questions from my handy dandy notebook here. Actually, let's go into the story about how you acquired the IS300, where you found it, what you paid for it, and pretty much how this thing came into your life. But before we do that, I'm gonna make sure that the cameras are both recording, because that would suck. This one is, and this one is as well. So,
Beautiful.
beautiful. Tell me a little bit about where you found the car and how it came to be.
Yeah, so I guess it all started. I asked my mom to co-sign like a $25,000 loan, and she said no.
Okay.
So I was like,
Good on
okay,
Mom.
can't do that. So I ended up just starting saving money up. My buddy Austin Sherbon, he's the Naked Under the Vape guy. He went viral.
Oh, A-Sherb.
Oh yeah, he's actually the buddy that hooked me up with the buddy for the motor.
Okay.
So I acquired the motor and the trans first.
Does he drive a R32?
No, he drives a supercharged IS250.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
That's his?
Yeah, the carbon fiber one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck.
it's hard,
I thought he had a
dude.
Volkswagen hatchback.
No, his shit's hard. He's got that in the E36. He's got a motor in my garage.
You know what? Open invite. Come on the pod.
Oh, there we go. But yeah, so he hooked me up with the motor and trans, and then I was just kind of tinkering around. You know, I had like a list I wanted to do. So I started on the list first, and then I was living at my dad's at the time. He told me, he's like, you need to buy everything first. You know, I was like, all right, fine. And then we started gathering things on the list, had, you know, the living room filled up, and the whole plan was to put this 1J into an S13.
Okay.
I had a couple S13s, you know, there's one and I just couldn't find one.
Oh, I guess we should change the picture to what the IS pretty much looked like when you got it.
Yeah.
Is this pretty much how...
Yeah, that was before the painted engine bay, and I took the springs out of the struts. Yeah, that was me when I painted.
Yeah, it's a little bit too far.
It is what it is.
So this is...
It was a stock car.
Where did you find it?
I went to high school with the guy.
Okay.
And my buddy slid up, and he's like, hey, I know somebody that's got a IS300 for sale. And the only reason I ended up choosing IS300s was I always kind of wanted one. You know, there's a couple of people that inspired me before, but they're slow as shit.
Yeah.
And 95% of them are automatic unless
Yep.
you got 10 grand. You know what I mean? And
I bought that 5-speed one from Devin for $1,100.
must be nice. But yeah, so I ended up buying this thing. It was like 145,000 miles on it, 100% stock. You know, he had a list of all the stuff he had gotten done at a shop.
But it was running and driving.
It ran and drive, yeah. And then, so I ended up picking that up for $2,500.
Nice.
Just
Clean
like,
title, ready to
clean
go.
title.
Did you daily it for a while before?
Yeah, so I dailied it for 2 weeks. Threw an on-ramp, tested the e-brake.
Okay.
You know, did the typical automatic bullshit
Drift
you would
skid
do.
stuff.
And I was at the street races.
Okay.
And I was parked in the parking lot, and some girl backed into me.
Ooh.
And it just pushed the headlight, and you can't even tell. I mean, if I were to point it out to you on the car, you'd be like, really?
You've done worse damage to it today than she did.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, it pushed the headlight in a little bit, easy fix. I wanted $50 from her, and she couldn't even give me that, right? But then, ever since then, I was like, all right, well, car got backed into, it's got bad luck, pulled the motor. And from there on out, like, it just never ran.
So there was nothing ever wrong with the GE. You were just, was it the stock 145,000 mile GE?
Mm-hmm.
Did it leak? Did it have any issues?
Nope.
It was yanked it. Where did that motor end up?
I ended up selling it for like $400.
Nice. There you go.
Sold it to some guy, dirt cheap. Told him he had to take the auto trans too with it
because those are $200 to recycle.
Yep, I don't want it. So it's $400, you know, and it was out of my life. It was kind of a sweet deal.
Yeah.
We started. We did the paint first. I ran some Chase Bays lines. I did the whole Chase Bays ABS delete,
Nice.
clutch line, a few things there, and then we had the motor in. Shoot, everything was just happening. Boom, 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 boom. You know. And then typical with all builds, there's a slowdown.
Yeah.
And
you ended up painting the bay before dropping the 1J in.
Oh, yep. So we didn't even know. So there's some scratches.
Yeah.
Now, you know, we did a lot of mock-ups with the paint.
Gotcha.
You know, this was my first build ever that I've ever done. You know, kind of ground up, I guess. And it wasn't even really ground up.
This is your baby.
But a lot of learning lessons. Couple dollars were wasted.
Couple dollars.
Just because I bought the wrong thing, or I made a mistake. I remember I had to buy new AN line because my dumbass didn't know how to cut AN line, and I didn't watch a YouTube video.
Yeah.
A lot of this thing was built off YouTube videos because
it's a learning curve.
It costs a lot of money to give your car to a shop, dude.
For sure.
It costs a lot of money.
I don't understand. I mean, obviously the local shops do great work, like full deck and...
Yep. Homie Kyle Flink works there.
Kyle.
He'd be producing. Yeah, no. 100%.
But also, they're expensive, and I don't really understand the people that can afford to drop their car off and then 3 months later pay them $20,000 for a $5,000 car.
And then there's sentimental value too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. I'm just hating because I'm not the one that can afford to do it.
Oh, no, I would have loved it. I mean, like, I had met, a handful of people through the community on Instagram, that live all across the United States. And some people were doing it, like me, like in the garage all by themselves. And some people, I'd seen them flip their car from 2 JZGE to 1J in a week.
Yeah.
And they're driving their shit.
Money.
And I'm just like, man, I wish.
But those are also the people that work so hard and so long, all week long, to get the money to be able to afford to do that. So they don't even have the time to do it. So it's pretty much you got to find the fine line in between. And obviously you have touched... Now at this point, you've touched every bolt on this car now. Because you pulled the subframe.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at how... so this is probably right after mocking up the intercooler and getting pretty much the swap.
I just bought my house in this one. You got all the boxes.
There you go. So you had just moved into your place that you're living with Alex. Mm-hmm. And this thing was the swap finished by the time that you moved in, or were you still kind of piecing it together?
The
Did you
car
drive
would
it to your new house?
start. The car would start, but like it also wouldn't. I had a weird issue, so I ended up going full standalone. I had the all full wire tuck ECU relocated to the glove box.
Nice.
And so it was originally ran off a AAM V2 6050.
Okay.
Kind of like a 2008
Older.
12 software. I had got a good deal on it. And out of nowhere, like I don't know if it like fried a diode or something shorted, but like it was really weird. The ECU would connect to the laptop when the key was in the off position.
Okay.
But when you would turn it to the on position, you would get a connection error, and then the car wouldn't start.
Yeah.
So one day I just kind of nutted up, and I bought the AM Infinity 6.
Oh, you did?
So now the car's powered by AM Infinity 6.
Awesome.
My buddy Milo, he's got a Mark III 1.5.
Nice.
Okay. It's
Crazy car.
fast.
I bet
fast,
it
fast.
sounds nice.
Fast. But he ended up coming over, and he gave me one of his maps that our same tuner made, and then I ended up just going to the dyno, and then he adjusted that map.
Nice. So, who are you using as a tuner?
Kenny, Turbo Geiger Tuning.
Okay. Where's
Yeah.
that at?
Auburn.
Auburn. Let's give him a little bit of a shout out. Do they have an Instagram that we can
Yeah,
promote?
it's going to be Turbo Geiger Tuning, and I think Geiger has 2 X's.
Okay, we'll throw it at the bottom of the screen.
He does
here.
his own drag racing.
Oh,
He's
really?
got, I think he's got an MR2, and he's trying to get down into the 7s.
Shit.
He's at like mid-8s right now.
Oh my
He's
god.
fast
That's a
guy.
fast fucking car.
And then he's also got a Fox body with. If I mess this up, I'm gonna get a lot of hate, but I believe it's got an. I think it has an LS in it.
Okay. I mean, I'd love to put an LS in a Fox body.
I think it does.
My dad's been trying to do that for the last couple of years. He's had a Fox body and LS sitting next to each other in the garage for a while.
Yeah, he used to be Speed Factory's
Oh, really?
main tuner.
Gotcha.
But then
Okay.
he kind of did his own thing, and he's
So now he's just got his own shop where he tunes and builds his own
he's
shit.
killing it, man.
That's awesome. Shout out to him. Is that who's also tuning Brad's RB25S13?
No, so Brad, I think went to Intake Racing.
Intech.
Intech.
Yeah.
Yeah, Intech Racing. Yeah, so his car's done now too.
Oh, did he get his final tune done?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about Brad Denny's RB25S13. That RB25S13 on Instagram?
Something like
anyway,
that.
Brad's
Something
Instagram's
like
at
that.
the bottom of the screen. He's been building this S13 hatch since before I had facial hair. He's had this thing for, I think, 4 or 5 years now. He's gone through a couple RBs.
Yes, a couple. Definitely a couple.
Okay, so me and Brad have this weird relationship where every time that he finished an RB build, I would comment on his Instagram, T-2 weeks till you pop a head gasket, and it would always happen. I would always predict his failure to the T. And then one time I said you're going to drop a valve, and then as soon as I said that, he dropped a valve.
Yeah, quit fucking jinxing.
So I'm going to stop doing that
Quit
shit.
jinxing shit,
And
man.
as he just finished his RB25 swap, which is a fucking beautiful, beautiful swap. He took his time on it. He's polished the valve covers.
Backfire.
He's got a vertical or forward facing intake. Is it a
Yep.
Freddy? Is it a?
I couldn't tell you.
It's some beautiful
We're gonna
polish.
say it's Gretty.
We're gonna say it's Gretty because. So that thing, what, makes 400 now? What is it?
No, he's 295. 295 wheels. Stock turbo. Stock RB25 turbo.
He's still stock turbo. Mm-hmm. Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he's reliable at this point.
Yeah, his turbo seals are going out, he said. He's gonna replace that. I don't know what his plans are, but he's on the Haltech Elite.
Yeah.
And
He's put love into that car, and hopefully it loves him back.
dude, that thing, when it backfires, like,
Loud.
yeah.
That's probably why his fucking turbo seals are
He's
going.
pumped. He's pumped. He's real big juiced on it. He loves that car.
Yeah, so follow Brad on Instagram. Here's a picture of his S13 hatch on Equipo 5s.
Those are hard.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah,
and it's stock body, too. I mean,
I keep on telling him he needs to buy a kit.
yeah, but he should probably buy a turbo before he buys a kit.
Yeah, fair enough.
But also, he's been building it for 6 years, so I'm not going to tell him what to do. Because that thing, does he still... he's been building that forever. Anyways, enough about Brad. Let's get back into the IS300. I got another question, I think, somewhere in this notebook. What was the first... I mean, never mind. We already know what the first thing you did to it was. Tell me about your first time drifting it. When...
Drifting this car?
Let's talk about the first time pretty much testing and tuning it after the swap. What was your first reaction to driving turbo, 6-speed, rear-wheel drive, 4-door, heavy-ass Lexus on the street?
Something's wrong with it.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about that experience.
I did, of course, what everybody does when they first get in the car, they do a hard pull, right? Just to make sure everything's okay. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, I dropped the clutch when I first actually got in it, and it slipped. So that was the first, so then we put a new clutch in. And then after the new clutch, I gave her a good rip. It was probably like a 110, 120 pull.
Yeah.
And after it was like, you know what I mean? Like, oh fuck.
Well, you're also on 15-year-old suspension and bushings and...
Right.
Were you on... You said you cut the springs?
Right, yeah, So I have BC Extreme Lows.
Okay.
It's got custom spring rates.
Are these true coil in the rear, or are they spring and bucket?
True coil.
They are true coil. Awesome.
True coil. So yeah, it's got custom spring rates, the Extreme Lows with whatever that spring thing, yeah.
The helper spring.
BC... Yeah. I did it all for this car because I didn't want to go cheap on suspension.
You're like the 7th person to come in here with BC Racing coilovers. Would you have changed your coilover preferences? Are you happy with what it's doing?
I'm happy with them. Man.
It does what it needs to do.
My car is gangster low, and I think it's like almost maxed out at the top of the height.
Yeah.
The Extreme Lows, I had a lot of people say like, "Hey, you shouldn't buy those," but I mean, I built this car to be like a final bout car.
Style matters, baby.
Style matters. Jason and I might be driving. I want to say might because, like, if I say we are and we don't, that would...
And he's definitely a busy guy.
Yeah,
I've seen on his Instagram.
We've talked about it, and depending on where this car gets, he's going to end up painting this car for me, and I believe we're going to be driving Final Bout together.
Really?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
I built this car for Final Bout car. Style matters. Style's everything.
And I heard you guys are going to be having matching paint colors.
That's the rumor. We'll see. I ain't going to do no god-awful red, though. I love the red. Okay, I can't say it like that.
Shots fired.
The red's fire, right? Yeah. But my engine bay's purple. And all my stuff,
would be a little bit of a clash.
And you can't see anything underneath my car, but it's all pink under there.
Yeah. Oh,
so we got to.
That's right. So let's take a look at actually underneath your chassis. When you replaced everything, you went ahead and...
I did some extras.
You did some extra shit. You painted the subframe. Obviously, the aftermarket control arms came...
So all that stuff came pink. All I did was powder coat the subframe and then some miscellaneous things. Santi, Abraham, he powder coated everything for me. I chose the color. The only reason that I really did this was because when the first thing I said was... this car's scary, or something's wrong with this car.
Wrong with it, yeah.
Alex, when I say we, is Alex and I, we kind of came to the realization something's wrong with the suspension.
Okay.
And so we didn't know what it was, and we said, fuck it, we're just going to do it all.
Yeah.
And so it's got the whole new rear bushing kit, all new arms, bushings, everything. I mean... So
the bushings that you went with, are those KFD as well?
Yep.
Are those polyurethane or are they solid?
Poly. So the whole car now is polyurethane front to rear.
Do you have any terrible vibrations at stoplights, or is it...
No.
Solid?
I love it.
And the car probably purrs like a kitten.
Yeah, I love it.
It loves it.
I got some clutch chatter
because
of the race clutch, but whatever, it is what it is. But, the only reason I really powder coated the subframe was I want to be above standard, right? Yeah. There's a standard with these cars, and if you want to be above standard, you kind of go to the extra lengths.
It
right?
looks fucking fantastic.
Thank you. But,
the
main reason was, dude, this car had so much rust.
Oh, did it?
I bought this car from a kid I went to high school with that lived in Bonnie Lake.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, we don't salt our roads really up here. But it looks like it came from Canada.
Damn.
I had to go out. I had to buy new camber adjustment bolts because I had to cut my control arms out.
Oh, that's right. I remember that you went through that.
$120 for 4 bolts.
God damn, that grade A shit.
Dude, it was ridiculous. Just massive amounts of rust. Every time I got underneath this car, I was either re-drilling, re-tapping, or cutting something out.
Just on the suspension pieces, or is there anything in the chassis that's...
Just on suspension pieces.
That's good.
So it wasn't too crazy, but it looked like it was parked on top of a salt rock. I kid you not, man.
That's crazy.
It was worse than every 240.
Do you know if it's an original Washington car, or if maybe...
No clue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only know the kid who owned it in high school. I don't know what the previous history is.
Looks like you've got a straight pipe 3-inch axle dump.
Yeah, that's just...
Is there any resonator, any quieter?
No,
in there?
no. It's just turbo, 3-inch downpipe to 3-inch straight pipe. Basically, it was just kind of like homie came over. I bought a 10-foot stick with a couple bends, and we made something happen because...
How's it sound? Are you happy with straight pipe 1J?
Yeah, it sounds great, you know. There's a couple of things I need to finish it, you know. I was in this picture, you can see... I was thinking about, you know, having another buddy weld up a 2-bolt flange, buying some more just puzzle pieces, you know, cutting it
I
to
think
fit.
just a single vibrant muffler would make this thing scream. Make a mean sound.
Probably, you know, in the future I'll get something cool in titanium or something. I don't know. But right now...
I'm trying to... Because we were just talking about you passing tech at Spirit Peaks. But you don't need a muffler because you're turbo. Only NA cars need mufflers. That's right.
Good.
Shout out to Spirit Peaks. They got an event going on the 12th and 25th of this month. Check the link down in the bio.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got all the suspension swapped out. Let's talk a little bit about the interior. You've definitely made it your own on the interior.
Yeah.
So you got the matching bride or bridge seats. Authentic rep.
Yeah, they're the real ones.
They are.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so the glitter back 3s.
Fuck yeah. Pretty penny on those, but well worth
my
it.
My buddy found them on Facebook, and he was like, you should buy these. And I was like,
Bet.
I should buy these. Let's go to Oregon right now.
Oh, you drove fucking south
to Oregon. And we drove to Oregon, picked them up. You know, there was a couple scratches on them that I didn't see in the pictures, but we drove to Oregon already.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm taking them home with me. They had a couple cuts. Mom stitched it up, hooked me up, you know, and I love them.
Yeah. Are they comfy? Are they...
The nut room, you know, like I'm a small guy, and like every now and then, like the nut room gets
You're
a little...
readjusting constantly.
But for the safety aspect of like feeling like snug in a seat for my size...
Especially in a car you're going sideways with a lot of power.
It's absolutely perfect.
And you just threw in the harnesses. We'll probably get we'll insert a picture here of the interior.
Illegal as shit.
Are they're Brahm from what I...
Yeah, the only reason I bought them was because they were cam locks and they were purple.
Yeah, I love the cam locks.
What are the... LZ runs them in the S15.
Oh, the Yashio factory ones?
The Yashio factory. Dude, those are...
You know, I've been to Yashio factory.
Really?
We got a vlog up on the Deals on Wheels YouTube channel of Deals on Wheels goes to Japan and meets Salmon and goes to the Yashio factory. So if you want to watch that, hit the link right up here.
Okay.
But yeah,
how was that?
In 2019, I went to Japan for 30 days and visited Samet and everyone at Yashio factory, and I got a tour of the warehouse, and it was a fucking crazy experience.
I bet.
But yeah, I'd love to go back. I went at just the right time. I went like 7 months before all the COVID shit happened, so I got in right at the right time. But eventually, I'd like to go back. But I never wanted to come back to. So let's get back into pretty much your life, and let's talk about what got you into drifting in the very beginning. What was your first car? Was that your drift car, or were you a Honda boy like all of us before?
I mean, like, my parents, they gave me like a Hyundai Elantra.
Okay.
You know, it was manual 5-speed. I blew it up within like 3 months. It was that, you know, and then they're like, well, we gave you a free car.
It's your turn.
Yeah. So then I went out and I bought a Nissan 720 pickup. Mm-hmm. Your next door neighbor.
Lucas?
Huh?
Oh, from them.
Yeah. No. So I bought a Nissan 720 pickup, and then I started drifting. And your next door neighbor in that field, that's where I learned how to drift.
Really?
Yeah. Was
like
in a grass
500
field.
feet from here?
500 feet from here.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So I learned how to drift in a grass field in a slammed mini truck.
Okay.
You know, it was bouncy as shit, but that's where I got my fundamentals. Okay. And we painted the truck. My dad and my neighbor, they helped me out tremendously because I was so young. I was 16, 17, and I was watching, you know, YouTube videos of Japanese 240s.
Yeah.
This car, like I said, I wanted to put it in a 240, but I mean, the purple, the pinks, you know, like that's end style.
Yeah, you wanted to build a Hot Boy S13 like the rest of
That's,
us.
you know, it's the biggest inspiration is the guys who drive Mahim. I probably slaughtered that. Is it Mahim?
Mahon.
Mahon, yeah. See, I can't even say shit correctly, but, you know, I would literally sit in my room and watch those videos as a kid, you know, before I had my license, and I was just like, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. I like going fast, but it's just like the adrenaline rush of going fast sideways.
People
It's-
don't understand the difference between building a car to go fast and a car to go sideways.
You know, I've never had a fast car like 7, 8, 9,000 horse. Right. I bet you that's a
different
I bet you that's a
experience.
hoot.
Yeah, for sure.
It is a real.
But
kick.
when can you really utilize the full potential of that car without either killing yourself, getting your license suspended, or killing someone else on the street?
I mean, fuck, you can do that with a 200 horsepower car. Too,
Fucking
though,
true. My dad always says that it doesn't matter what you drive, you can always go 60 in a school zone. And
Yeah. I don't know. It was something about it. It hooked me. It grabbed me, and I was like, that's what I just like the most fun. I got a handful of friends that are into like the autocross style racing, and I mean, I've tried it. Not like on a track, but everybody's tried it in the back corners in the woods.
For sure.
And I just...
That's what the Mustang started out as. We built this as an autocross car, and we did it for a year. I enjoyed it. I had my fun, but the seat time that you get in an autocross event compared to a drift event or street drifting, when you go to an autocross event, especially in a car in a class of this magnitude, you're sitting on track for 8 hours a day to do 4 laps that are a minute apiece. It doesn't sound fun. No. And then when you go to a drift event in the same car, you're out on track for 3 hours.
Right.
And you...
Basically, it comes down to how much money do you have to spend on tires.
For sure. For sure.
I don't know. It grabbed me. I like the style aspect of things. I mean, I'm a big guy on style. Mm-hmm. My car kind of shows it. The wheels and the exterior aspect. I'm getting there.
It doesn't show it today. You're on stocks, but you are a big proponent of real wheels, 3-piece, big, flashy, shiny faces.
Yes,
Tell me a little bit about the wheels that you have acquired for this, the wheels that you've run on this.
Yep.
I know you've had the X's, the VSKFs.
Yep. So I don't have the X's no more. The VSKFs I have, they're completely torn apart. I'm going to get, I believe... the guy who polished all of Brad's parts. Mm-hmm. He's going to do my faces, and then I was going to do...
You're going to do polished KFs on this? Mm-hmm. Fuck, yes. Especially with the color that you told me that you're going with this thing.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say it on the podcast.
No, I got you, but that's going to be... It's going to be drippy.
Yeah, I'm really excited. As you can see, there's quite a bit of fiberglass work that we still need to do on the car.
Sure. I know a guy.
But, yeah. We're going to... Basically, right now, like, I don't mind a Panda Phase. I need this car to drive how I want it to drive.
For sure.
And then we'll start working on things that way. I've been looking at VR wheels, rare spec wheels up in Canada, just kind of trying to price out lips.
Yeah.
Debating on who I want to powder coat my faces. Or not powder coat, sorry. Polish them. But
I'm excited to... Are they 18s?
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
18s.
I'm excited.
So that'll be like the main set of wheels, and then I don't know, I'll probably look into like some con size just because they're everybody's favorite now.
Yeah, I mean
I'd love to get a pair of Graham lights.
Okay, so this thing on some
T7Rs.
neon yellow 57Rs would be insane.
Right.
Those are probably the neon pink and the neon yellow 57R Graham lights are so good.
I love them.
So what is pretty much, what's your favorite thing about this car? When you go out in the garage and you see this thing sitting there, is there one piece that is just special to you that you either sourced and it's rare, or you're the only person to have it, or that the part that makes you smile about this car?
I wouldn't say is really rare or anything, just because this is a very common build, but I think it'd be the fact that I own a 1J.
Yeah, for sure. And to be, 22 and to have that motor in this car is it's a feat in itself.
It's really cool.
Yeah. I
don't know what it is. I mean, the 2Js are really cool. It would be really cool to own like a real 2J GTE.
But also, the price of a 2J GTE.
That's very factual. Very factual.
You got to pull it out of a Mark IV or a Dead Aristo, and then you still have to source a transmission.
I don't know. I had the RB20.
Mm-hmm.
I had an RB25, but it was just I always wanted the JZ. I don't know what it was. I grew
Probably
up,
the reliability aspect of it.
There was a point in time too where like I was really into Supras, and it wasn't the Mark IVs. It was the Mark IIIs.
Yeah.
and I grew up with this is my cousin's boyfriend. He still has it, but he never fucking drives it. But he's got a 7M GT Supra, and I think he's also got a 1J. And then actually one of my other cousins, different cousin, but her ex-boyfriend also has a 7M GT Supra.
Nice.
But also has a 1J VVTi in the garage that he doesn't ever touch.
Come
He's
on.
not, you know, he's at that phase, right? He's building his foundation of his life, not his car.
For sure.
So, I don't know. I kind of grew up around people that just loved Supras. I've always been a big Supra guy.
Okay.
Everybody loves, an RB26 or whatever. But I don't know. It's just...
You're happy.
Yeah.
And I mean, this motor belongs in this chassis. If you're gonna be honest,
100%.
If there was one
no,
motor
yeah.
that should have came, because this thing has the suspension of a JZX 100, why wouldn't it have the motor of a JZX 100?
It irritates me because this motor literally belongs. There's plenty of room. I mean, when I did the new clutch, we pulled the 2 hardest bolts out. You know, the ones at the top.
The top
right?
of the bell housing, yeah.
Pulled it off with a fucking wrench.
Just right behind.
Literally, we were over the hood and we just went like this with a wrench.
Yeah, that's nice. So definitely don't swap to a CD09 if you want that room to stay there.
You know, that's one of the hardest questions of the day is what do you do when the R154 breaks, especially now. But I probably would
buy a brand new one.
That or get the Marlin crawler kit. Go full billet.
Yeah.
Definitely, but like at the same time, it's like I never want to run power, so it's like
For sure.
400 horsepower is plenty of power for me. You know, I never want to run Pro-Am. I don't like FD.
Have you ever driven on track? Have you ever?
I have.
What did you drift on track and where?
I drove the 240 at Evergreen like maybe 3 times. That's the amount. That's the max amount of times I've been on the track. I rode with homies on the track.
Did you street drive it to Evergreen or did you trailer it?
Yep, I street drove. I grew up street drifting. Everything I know is basically street drifting. You know, I built this car for the track. Now that I have enough money, I can actually afford to go to the track. But I'm still a big street drifter, like at heart.
For sure.
Takeovers.
Let's get into the takeover chat.
Let's get into it.
Takeovers, if you don't know, are the new fad that have, or the new cancer, as some people would say, that have taken over the car community.
It's fucking us.
It's pretty much fucking us. Takeovers are a group of people that pretty much decide a designated meeting spot in advance, and then they all meet up there, take over the block, do a bunch of donuts in an intersection or a bridge or on the freeway or sometimes even in a parking lot if you're gay enough, and bank-owned cars that don't make any power, you can't afford to fix when they break, and it's pretty much just making everyone around the car community and people even outside of the car community look at us like we're all doing that.
Right.
People see a lowered, modified, fast car.
I got kicked out of Ruston Way.
Just for driving around because you're associated.
We pulled up with 6 cars like mine.
Yeah.
And they say you can't park here. I'm like, dude, we're getting food. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we own these cars. We're on the street. They're all licensed, insured.
Licensed and insured.
Your license plate seems a little.
Licensed and insured. Licensed
and insured. I saw the same thing.
It's a track car, bro.
Same thing with fucking Jason. He pulls up. He's like, my tabs are 2 years old. I go, what? No one gives a shit anymore. Anyways, have you...
167 isn't 3 lanes yet, bro.
Not yet.
It will not buy tabs until that place is...
Fuck 167. Fuck 167 up the ass. It used to be fine northbound. Now it's not.
There's too many people living in this state nowadays.
Yeah.
But, that's a whole different conversation.
Operation Leave Washington, ASAP.
Whole different conversation. But yeah, I mean, like, takeovers, man. Ignorant. It's the best thing I can explain. I went to them a lot when they first kind of got popular here. But I didn't go in a car that would participate. I went in a slammed show car.
So you're a spectator.
Yeah, so I just watched. And I mean, like, you'd say maybe 2 people know how to drive there.
Yeah.
And then the rest was just comedy.
It's just
a lot of it was comedy.
Automatic G35s that don't know what they're doing.
And then when my homies would pull up with me, that's where it was fun. I went to a lot of them actually, and then I got the Z because this thing was still being built, and I participated in them for like
Now, when you say you participated in the takeover, are these the ones that happened at warehouses, or are you on the street?
I was selective, right? So it's like, you know, you got a license plate on your car. Well, okay, maybe not that one. But on my Z, you know, I do. There's my name behind that, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm selective of where I drift. If you look at my Instagram, you know, yeah, I'm a street drifter, but it's selective.
Yeah.
Most of my clips are at night.
And you're not putting anyone
They're
else but
rarely
yourself
around people.
in danger.
You know, all it takes is like one mistake, right?
For sure.
How fucking shitty would you feel if you killed somebody?
Pretty bad.
And it's just like knowing my luck and like the things that I've gone through in life. It's like if I were to crash and hit somebody, I'd kill them and I'd survive type thing.
Yeah.
You know, so it'd be a very shitty gig. You know, you really got to stay on your P's and Q's. Plus, I don't want to get a ticket.
Yeah.
You know, nobody wants to pay for that shit. So in my aspect, I never really fully liked the takeovers because it's like, what if that ambulance or what if that minivan or that SUV's got somebody where they, you know, they just cut their arm off or they have a gunshot wound or just, you know, there's X, Y, and Z situations,
You're
right?
impeding the flow of traffic for emergency responders
There's
to get anywhere.
You know, all 5 lanes on I-5 are blocked with 100 cars in front of you, and there's some kids doing donuts. You know, obviously, like, I'd love to say those kids would move if they knew what the situation was.
But they wouldn't.
But they don't.
They don't give a fuck
Well,
about
they don't know
anyone
what
but
the
themselves.
situation is. You know what I mean? How are you going to tell somebody that's 100 cars ahead of you, hey, this person's dying?
Yeah.
Right?
I just don't understand why they choose to do that when it's truly cheaper, more fun, easier, and a better experience to literally just spend less than $100 to go to the track and get that experience.
You know, I don't even think it's really like that, though, because they're not even really drifting.
No, they're not.
It's just donuts.
It's just
right?
look at me, look at me, look at me.
I think it's just a clout thing. Like, drifting and takeovers, I've almost started to clarify it as 2 different subjects.
Oh, for sure.
Because if you really look at the driving styles, it's 2 different styles of driving.
Takeovers are not drifters. They don't drift. They don't transition. They don't maintain speed throughout corners. They do circles with their foot on the floor, and they go like this.
But
That's
something I've noticed is when we loop out, you know, it's not that good.
Mm-hmm.
But they think the rollback loop out's cool.
That's my favorite fucking subject. They're calling them the rollbacks, and it's literally them spinning out and then putting it to the floor and causing more smoke because the momentum of the car's going backwards, but the tires are going forward.
And that's why I say it's almost like it's 2 different aspects of driving. And now, like when I would go to a takeover in the Z, we're smoking the whole warehouse up, right?
Yeah.
We're fucking ripping it all the way up and down, and it would get sketchy sometimes because people just don't care.
No, and you're not doing donuts either. You're doing fat transitions door to door with another car at 65 miles an hour.
And morally, the main reason of why I like to take over so much was because there was some hint of street style in it. I've seen a handful of drivers, I'm not going to name a name, that
drives a red IS 300.
They also talk shit about takeovers with me, but I've seen them there for the same aspect, and I know exactly why they were there. They were trying to get some fucking seat time in. They were trying to get down in their car, and the takeovers was a good cover.
Yeah.
Being masked by 100 cars that are doing 10 times dumber shit than you are, dude, the street spots that I've been able to link and been able to hit because I was masked around so many people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they might not have been the best spot. You know, it's a spot where if I was by myself, I would never hit.
Mm-hmm. But
you know?
I mean, and you also got the experience. You gained skill.
I was masked by 100 people all around me with loud cars doing stupider shit than I was. Where I was like, all right, here we go. You know, bop, 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 bop. And I was able to do things on roads where it's like you would not even think twice about, oh yeah, that's a bad idea. Yeah. You just know instantly that's a bad idea. And so that's kind of why I participated in them. But
now you're just pretty much sticking to street drifting, right? I've seen you hit.
Yeah, I have more fun by myself.
Yeah.
And with, like, you know, a group of 2, 3, 4 friends.
That's what it should be. And I mean, and when the block gets hot, you dip.
I mean, I see it as this, back in the day, you know, we would get caught at a warehouse and the officer would be like, hey, you know, like, this is private property. We're like, we know, you know, like, we're sorry. We just came here. We, you know, we wanted to have some fun, get used to our cars, you know, and stay away from people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we crashed in the parking lot, you know, there might be a little bit of property damage, but I'm not putting another person at risk, right?
Yeah.
And the police would really respect that. I know they got a bad rep right now, but I mean, so when somebody breaks into your house, you're still calling them.
Oh, for sure.
That's the first person you're calling. So
I mean,
like, let's give them a little bit of a break, right? But nowadays it's not like that, dude. You get popped, you're getting.
They're taking your car.
You're
They're
getting
taking
fucked,
cars
dude.
nowadays, unfortunately.
You're getting fucked, and it's scary, but like. That's what I love to do. You know what I mean? I would love to see the takeovers evolve. You know, there's I follow plenty of pages on Instagram where there are people posted up at an intersection, but they're not doing donuts. You know, there's people all over. You know, they got this whole thing curved out, almost like a Tokyo drift scene. You know what I mean?
That's pretty
Everybody's
cool.
got their phones out, and they're all in JZX 100s. You know, Jay-Z life. But they're throwing fat feint entries in, and they're just locking it up and throwing max angle, big entries, and it's just a solo turn. You know, whether it be a full 180 or just a 90-degree, you know, intersection light turn. It's the fact that they're like, it's the big entry, it's the throw, you know what I mean? They're actually drifting.
It's the style.
And I would love to see the takeovers, you know, maybe evolve to that one day. I think it would be really, really cool. But, like...
I don't think they're interested in that, unfortunately.
Nah, man. Everybody just likes blocking up a fucking circle.
They're trying to make noise and as much, hey, look at me as possible.
It is what it is, you know. But, you know, when they're out and then you're out doing your own thing, you know, you might get lucky because they're more occupied on them than you.
True. I got another question for you. Besides the IS300, if you could do all of the mods that you've done to this thing to any other chassis...
S15.
It'd be an S15? I agree. I mean...
I love S15s.
I got a fucking vision board on my... right next to my bed, and it's got a yellow S15 right in the middle of it.
S15.
Way before Adam LZ built 2 different yellow S15s.
Tokyo Drift, bro. Han, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But yeah, S15's been my dream car since I can fucking remember. And...
Stock body. Mad camber up in the front.
Man, I'm never going to touch one. It's so sad.
I'd keep it in SR.
Yeah, for sure.
It'd be sick
VVL SR, 400 horse, make that
Yeah.
thing fucking scream. Anyways, so IS300, are you planning on taking it to Spirit Peaks on either the 12th or 25th of this month? Link in the top of the description.
If I send them a picture when I get some better reception and they say my car passes tech right now, I'll probably be there this weekend.
Oh shit, you're going on the track? You're taking your car out on
But if they say no, then it might be a little bit longer, you know. 'Cause really the only thing that's holding me back to go on the track right now is like a harness bar, I guess you would say.
Are you going to take
But-
out your rear interior once you do harness bar, or are you going to try to retain it as much as you can?
Probably, no.
Are you trying to stay street car with this thing, or are you doing full
Yeah,
final
you
bout?
know, it's...
Because, I mean, most
Somewhat
final bout
street car.
cars are still street driven,
Yeah,
but I mean, they're
it's-
still race cars
it's
at the
just
end of the day.
It's a weekend warrior,
Okay.
we'll call it, you know.
Have you retained heat and defrost and
Yep, heat's still in. AC, no.
that? I mean,
But that, I mean,
that's money.
Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, no, this car still has heat.
That's
all
awesome.
heater controls, defrost. All the windows are still in it. I mean, the hood would be on it right now, but it flew up on me the other day, so.
Your hood has some markings all over it. I'll insert a picture here. You have all the followers on TikTok.
Not all of them. My hand started to hurt, but.
Tell me a little bit about you. Did you grow on TikTok? Did you
A
get?
little bit, yeah. I got like almost 6,000 followers.
Yeah, that's a good following.
I just got bored one day, and I was just like, yeah, if you follow me, like, I'll just throw your rat name on my hood.
Was that before Oshuno, or is that kind of in the middle?
Kind of during the middle. We've been trying to get some sort of... We've been big clout chasers, I guess, lately. Trying to get some sort of following there.
Yeah.
Kind of reverted away from the car content because this thing was on jack stands for so long. We were just... It was summertime, you know?
You're partying.
We were partying. We were having a good time. But, yeah, I mean, Oshuno is just kind of like... It's our lifestyle now, I guess. Alex and I, we never fucking sleep. It's work, our real job, you know, because that's how we have to survive.
Is he an electrician as well?
No, he does land survey.
Okay.
So, you know, we work our real jobs, and then we come home and we'll either edit a video or we're starting to do merch drops. And so we have a couple logos made. We've only kind of shown people the one that's on like the back of our cars and stuff, but we have a couple other ones made. A lot of like kind of behind the book shit, you know, but I kind of rambled and lost where I was going.
Oh, you're good. We just hit an hour 10, so we're probably going to wrap it up here. But, I mean, we covered the entire car. I think we got it.
Yeah.
Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Do you have anything to promote? Throw all your social medias. Throw everything that you want these people to go follow you at.
Shoot, just subscribe to the Oshuno YouTube.
There will be a link up here if I can manage
we're doing,
to do that.
We'll probably do like some sort of like a hoodie giveaway or a shirt giveaway here.
Are you doing a giveaway of 500 followers?
Yep, we're gonna do a GoPro Hero 9. Or we're kind of gonna let them decide. You know?
Okay.
We haven't paid for it yet because we're still 200 followers away. We're almost at 300.
Yeah.
But the GoPro Hero 9 or the other one where it's got the 360 view.
Oh, fuck yeah, that'd be
We'll
sick.
just be like, hey, you know, we'll hook one of our followers up. It'll be totally random, you know, but...
Yeah, if you're interested in a GoPro Hero giveaway or some camera giveaway, go follow Oshuno on Instagram. Follow him on YouTube. They're 200 followers away from hitting 500, which is super impressive because you've been active for less than a year. You've been...
Yeah, we kind of started this about a year ago, but things didn't really kind of kick on till about summertime.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, check them out. Your personal is PNW Smith.
Yep.
If you want to follow the IS300 build, it's getting painted and hopefully a hood soon.
Hopefully.
Maybe some body work.
Yeah.
Polished VSKFs. The next time that we have Ryan on the podcast is going to be a completely different car. So probably the next time that we have you on, maybe will be the reveal of you and Jason's car. Maybe we can meet up at Street Garage.
That'd be so sick.
That'd be insane. I think that we should do that.
Sick.
We'll plan on that. Yeah, maybe smoke some, maybe drink a little bit more. But yeah, that'd be a fun podcast. I appreciate you for coming by and bringing the car. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us everywhere at Dlzonwlz. And shout out to Spirit Peaks. Go to their website and the link at the top of the link. Their link is at the top of the description. Jesus, that's a mouthful.
Up there.
Yeah, somewhere. But yeah, shout out to everybody and their moms, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Later, dog.
Oh, that camera just turned off too.
Oh!